Hey, what's up everyone? In this video, we're going to go over what it takes to get started with MongoDB. And the reason we're doing that in the middle of this PayloadCMS series that I'm doing is that it's so much easier to communicate with a hosted database than it is on a local machine. So instead of doing all the stuff that it takes to get a local MongoDB running on your machine, we're just going to go ahead and go straight to the source and get a hosted version of it for free. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Now, let's dive in. So the first thing you're going to do is go to mongodb.com. And so I'm at the account page already, but if I go to mongodb.com, it'll load up this screen where you can then hit try free. And so you can sign up with Google or you can sign up with your actual information. And since I'm just making a test, I'm going to put a little plus there. And since this is just for education purposes, this will be deleted eventually. And so you'll want to put in a password and then agree to the terms of service and privacy policy and create your Atlas account. So it's going to ask you to verify your email address, which I will do in a different screen. And then once you click on the link in your email address, you can just hit continue and you'll get this nice little loading screen that says registration success. And then you can fill in this information. Since we're just learning MongoDB, that's our primary goal. How long have you been developing software? It doesn't really matter. We'll be using JavaScript. We will be using, not sure what kind of data we'll be using. It just depends on the project that you decide to continue on after this. And this will be serverless. We can just hit finish. And so we're going to come over here to the M0 option here, which is free. And then we can just take everything as it is. And since this is just educational, I'm just going to put educational test for the name. You can put whatever you would like there. And then I'm going to hit create deployment. And now it has a username and a password for me. These are sensitive pieces of information. So you want to make sure that when you have an actual in production database, you will want to make sure that your password is changed and your username is different than what I'm about to do. So I'm going to come here and copy the username and the password, and I'm going to put them into my IDE here. And so now I have the username and the password that I'm going to need for the connection string. So now I'm going to hit choose a connection method. When I hit choose a connection method, I got this error because I need to create database user. So when I click on that, I'm now able to click choose a connection method, and we're going to choose drivers. So when you select drivers, it is saying that your database is being provisioned. You can use this if you need to, but with PayloadCMS, this is already included. So it's provisioning and I can hit done and we wait for it to provision. All right, so our database is provisioned. It took about 1 or 2 minutes and now we can click connect. We're gonna go to drivers again and we can copy all of this connection string right here by pressing the to file icon right here. So that's going to copy. We can go over to our IDE. And we're going to paste it into database URI. And so when we do that, you can see there's a database password and our username and the database name is already there. So I'm just going to cut and paste the database password and replace even the greater than and less than brackets here. And so when I do that, our database URI is set. And we're going to come back over to our payload config, and we're going to set this to be our Mongoose adapter. And so now it is set as Mongoose adapter. And if I run npm dev, I should now be able to go to localhost 3000/admin. And here it is. It'll ask me to create my first user, which I will just use my email address, a password, and then I can include my name as well. So now that that's done, we can see the dashboard as we were intended to see it. And that's it for getting set up with MongoDB. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have about setting up MongoDB, PayloadCMS, and nextjs, but Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and get notifications for whenever I release new content about any of these topics. I'll see you on the next one.